Hello everyone.
Hi guys.
Viewers. Just give me a minute. Hello everyone, welcome to this special evening session on the PG Diploma Program on Software Development by IIIT-B and UpGrad. And we are joined today for a special session with a full stack developer herself, Sakshi.
Hi guys.
So Sakshi herself is a full stack developer working right here at UpGrad. So Sakshi is a full stack developer herself. She's working here at UpGrad and has almost 5 years of experience. And we would be interacting with a cool Q&A session with her through the hour till almost 8 o'clock. And I will just ask her like what are the skills needed to be a full stack developer, how people who wish to get into the full stack development space should think about making that move. And we will then gradually take you through the journey. It's an interactive session, my friends, so feel free to plug in with your questions. More than happy taking it up with Sakshi. It's very rare you get to meet a full stack developer. So ask us, it was difficult getting her appointment for this session. Hopefully you would also benefit a lot from it. Just pre-discussion to this event, I myself gained a lot of insights about the industry, and hopefully we'll get to learn more from her on how to crack a job which has been ranked recently as the world's #1 job by world's biggest job website, Indeed.com. So Sakshi, kudos to you. You're already at the best place and you can only go higher from here. So cool. So starting off the session, and feel free to please drop in the questions anytime you want and we'll just take it up then and then. Cool. So starting off with the first question here, Sakshi, you are a full stack developer. Just help us define that term better. Like, who is a full stack developer?
Okay, so I would say that, you know, a guy who can do front end, back end, understands database, how these different pieces interact with each other. I would term that as a full stack developer, basically. Yeah.
Got it. That's interesting. And now speaking particularly of like what skills are needed by a person to be called a full stack developer. So you mentioned a few, like what all skills would be needed to be covered if, let's say, I want to call myself a full stack developer at a great firm.
Yeah, okay. So I would say, you know, like start with an end goal of you being able to deploy a particular product or service, however small or big it may be, and make it live. So what all does that need? That needs front end, that needs back end, that needs the interaction with database, that needs deployment skills. So all of that is covered. So, you know, specifically speaking about each one of these pieces. So you have to have I would say that, you know, things are not it's not like you have to learn 100 languages or something like that. It is all logic in the end. So, you know, if you understand how to write code in one language, you're literally then understanding just the syntax of the other language, and that's how you advance from there. So, you know, you have to know maybe a front end, you have to learn JavaScript, you have to pick up any front end
Got it.
Yeah, and similarly for backend, and just pick up a database, and yeah, and you're good to go.
That's really interesting. So Sakshi, like, how did you yourself make that move to being a full stack developer? Like, was it like a conscious call you took in your career, like I want to be a full stack developer, or is it just how the opportunities evolved? Would love to learn more about that.
Yeah, so I would say I've been I have been really lucky that in my first job itself, I was you know, I was sort of mentored to become a full stack developer. So one of my first projects involved working on both front end and back end. So yeah, that's how I got there, and I find it really interesting to be able to look at things from like to have an overall view of things, and I can decide what logic should decide where, what would make life of a front-end person easy, what would make like a back-end person easy, and so on and so on.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So you tell us that as a full stack developer, because you have perspective on both the back-end and front-end bit, does it help you develop better code than, let's say, a regular back-end or a front-end developer? Or is that a generalization? Would love to know more about it.
Yeah, so I would say that it does help. It definitely does help me. Let's say I'm developing an API, so I do know the pain points of which I might have faced when I was working on a front end project. So I know these are the things that these guys might need, and the back and forth, the friction between these two people working can significantly be reduced if you sort of have an overall view of things. So yeah.
That's interesting, really. And what do you feel like when you got an opportunity to become a full stack developer yourself? Why were you keen to take it up? Did you not feel like it's better to be a regular software developer? What added advantage you felt that being a full stack developer will bring to your career at that time? Or
okay, yeah. So I'll be very honest here. Like it was really like my first job, and I did whatever I was asked to do.
Correct.
But I will say I was really lucky to have gotten that opportunity, because now one thing is that it opens up double the opportunities for me. I can choose wherever I'd like to go. And again, second, as I already said, that it gives me an overall picture of things, an overall picture of the product. And I can decide better what should happen when, where should I write what kind of code, and yeah.
That's awesome. So full stack development, Sakshi, very frankly, is an evolving branch of software development. Yes, there is a wave of software product coming through. It's breaking through the industries. We are seeing internet companies come up. But just wanted to get your thoughts. How does it translate into for companies? Like, why do companies hire full stack developers as per your experience?
Well, so see, it is always good to have someone who knows more than just one thing.
Okay.
So whatever is there to be worked upon, this is your guy. Like you can just hand him anything to work on. So yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying that just backend or just front end. That full stack will always be better than just backend and just front end. But the thing is that it is just good to have a more flexible person to work with than with the limited set of technologies or yeah.
Got it. So you said that traditional developers are generally like expertise in one or two languages, while a full stack developer has got a varied set of expertise, so as to say. So particularly just getting to know more about it, like how did you as a developer go on about learning these languages, these skills, these engineering practices particularly?
So one step at a time. So my philosophy is, whatever you're given in life, you should just break it down into smaller chunks and attack them one by one. So yeah, even when it was about full stack development, I started with backend, I believe, and then I learned front end as well within that span. And when I'm working on features, also I would break it down into smaller pieces, understand what should happen when, and work on front end, work on back end first, then work on front end, then integrate those pieces. So yeah.
Got it. Really interesting approach. So you said it's not more about learning particular tools and technologies, but more in the sort of framework that you get into solving a problem.
Correct. So because see, if you know the baseline, if you know the logic, it is made. These are made tools to get you there, right? Like if your base is strong, then everything is sorted.
That's great. And you mentioned that the base needs to be strong, the initial knowledge base needs to be strong. What do you particularly mean by that? Like what comes into your mind when you say that?
I would say, yeah, so problem solving skills, and a lot of our in programming, like if you learn data structures and algorithms, so data structure is something you would be working on a regular basis with in front end or back end or anywhere for that matter. So yeah, so that is something that will give you a heads up. Like that's your base. Yeah.
Got it. And like, are there like particular colleges or educational background you need to be to become a full stack developer, or is it more about what skills you bring to the table? Like, how does that?
Yeah, so not at all. It does not depend on what college you're coming from. As long as you're good, you have those skills. You're you're good to go. Yeah.
Got it. And like, is there an experience level? Like, let's say I'm a person may not even be involved with software development at the moment. I have 4 or 5 years of experience. Can I enter the industry as a full stack developer?
Of course. So, I mean, yeah, 5 years back when I was fresh out of college, I did not know like all that much about coding, but I mean, I'm here 5 years down the line, I'm still coding. So yeah, you can make that career shift wherever you want in life, and you just need to get, get around the right course material, I would say, and just start learning. Yeah.
Got it. And I would just like to tell my viewers, we have an excited bunch of people right outside our office. So you would be listening to a few hoots and applause. I can assure you it's not for us at the moment. So please, meanwhile, guys, please feel free to drop in your questions. Any questions you might have about potential career impact of becoming a full stack developer, what sort of companies are out there hiring. Sakshi has more than 4 or 5 years of experience being a full stack developer. So it's very rarely you get a chance to meet people of such caliber, such pedigree. So please do feel to drop in your questions and I'll be happy to relay them onto Sakshi and get them to you as best as possible. Cool, Sakshi. So continuing with our discussion on the general industry as such, like you say that you were a full stack development right from the start, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you would have friends in your peer set who are like regular back-end and front-end developers. Like, do you think your skill set helped you like soar above the competition, put you at a better place, give you better access to opportunities, or like?
Yeah. So I would say, so to answer that, to start with, yes. I hadn't, so I knew about part A of things, part B of things, part C of things. So when I have the opportunity to choose which one do I like, which one do I want to drill into more, and so yeah, it opens up more avenues for me. Secondly, again, as I said, because I have a full view of things, I can work on things better, understand other person's perspective better. If say I'm working with a backend developer or front-end developer, so I understand what's going on, what's happening there. But eventually it's not just knowing the layer of things will not help. Obviously, you will have to dig down to be a grateful stack developer. You will have to drill down into front-end individually, back-end individually. But yeah, you always got to start.
Got it. And we have our first question actually, Sakshi. So Lakshmi has written in that she wants to know that which is the best programming language that you need to learn to be a great web developer? Like, is there a particular language out there? Like,
no. So as I said that, programming languages are just tools to get you there. You need your baseline should be strong. Your logical reasoning should be strong. So so on front end, you obviously have to learn like JavaScript and because that's how you will start building front end. For back end, I mean, from so even in front end or in back end, from time to time. The new language keeps the language which is sort of going to change the world, or all the products suddenly start getting built on a particular language. It keeps on changing from time to time. But if your basic core concepts are strong, you can. It's very easy to learn any language. So, like till now, I worked on Ruby initially for backend, and when I joined UpGrad, I sort of gave. I mean, not a lot of time, but I could learn Python, and now I'm working in Python. So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So you say there is no one language to rule them all. The set is always changing, but a set of strong fundamentals and everything can help you.
Correct.
So, like, just out of curiosity, like, how many languages does a typical full stack developer know?
Okay.
Like, basis your experience, or is it not even a number related thing? Feel free to correct me if
it is. So it is not. So if you like till now, I worked on JavaScript in front end and in back end on Ruby and Python, and for a very short period on Java. But if need be, tomorrow, if I'm given a product to work on, like I have to develop something different, I will probably pick up that language as well. So I cannot really put a number to it.
Got it.
I mean, you have to have that one language that you know and show your capability that you can code in that, and then once you understand one language, I'm sure like you'll be able to get hold of anything else.
Got it, got it. So there you have it, Lakshmi. As Sakshi said, that you just need to pick one particular language, be it for front end, be it for back end, and then just master it well, because it's fairly easy for you to then absorb a new language better.
Yeah, and there is just one thing that the one major differentiation between all these languages. There are scripting languages like Python, Ruby, JavaScript, and then there are strongly typed languages like C and Java. So that is just a small bit of difference, but I mean, not really something. It's not a huge gap, is what I would say.
Got it, got it, got it.
For you to learn, yeah.
Got it. So if I learn one, learning the next shouldn't be a big hassle. Is that
okay, so if you learn C or Java, learning any scripting language will not be difficult at all. The other way around can be slightly difficult, but not all that much.
Got it, got it, got it. There you have it, Lakshmi, straight from the horse's mouth, may I say. And we have another question coming in from Krunal this time. And Krunal wants to know, like, what is the first step to becoming a successful software developer?
Okay, okay, attention to detail. You have to iron out all the corner cases, think about how the user, I mean, depends on what product you're building, but think about how your customer is going to use the product. And yeah, and furnish the, I mean, my baseline is attention to detail. And attention to detail comes with just breaking down the problem again into small chunks, and yeah.
Got it, Krunal. So I hope that was useful, Krunal, because as Sakshi correctly says, that being a software developer, it's important to realize that you need to solve the problem completely. And please correct me if I'm going awry with this, but you need to realize that you cannot leave any use cases unanswered, because last thing you want, let's say you're designing something for Paytm, and if someone puts in, let's say, 101 rupees into their wallet and you haven't catered for that particular case, and all of a sudden your wallet goes for a toss, that should not be the case. So it requires, I think, rigor, it requires a planned approach, and it requires complete coverage of solution. So, and these are very basic skills that we are talking about here. And it's not, if you would notice, it's not learning particular languages or tools. It's more about the sort of thinking you get into it.
And I would, stop you. I'd like to add that, you know, as software developers, software engineers, we sort of try and run away from writing test cases. So I would say, like, if you guys are already developing, please write test cases, do write test cases. If you're getting into the world of development now, I mean, it's great. Like, you can, from day one, you should start focusing on writing test cases. So that way, you know that you also have a assurance that, you know, you've covered all sorts of cases. And so, like I was saying, that, you know, there could be 1,000 edge cases which you need to iron out, so that it's there written in front of you. So yeah.
Got it. So there you have it. It's more about your thinking and not more about which particular language and tool you know, which is, I think, primarily a misconception that people are nowadays having, that maybe you need to learn a particular tool to get ahead in your development career. Or do you get that often? Because I see you're hiring quite a lot, you're doing a lot of hiring interviews. Is it something you're observing in the industry?
So I would say, okay, like here in UpGrad on front end, we use Backbone.js, right? So obviously, if I am I'm interviewing a guy who knows AngularJS and another guy who knows Backbone.js, and they have the same caliber, I will hire Backbone.js guy, because I don't have to spend my energy and time, you know, teaching him that. But that said, let's say the AngularJS guy is really kick-ass, and he knows conceptually, he knows much more than the Backbone guy. Even if he has less experience, I'd go for him.
Oh, that's interesting. So there you have it, guys. It's knowledge which is the power that it gives you, and not purely experience, very frankly, as Sakshi just correctly said. Continuing with our list of questions, Sakshi, we have Lakshmi writing in again, and she wants to know that, can you suggest any study material online which a developer can read to keep themselves updated on all these latest technology trends?
So just follow tech blog. So I'm not sure what your background is, Lakshmi. Like, if you're already a developer, follow tech blogs, and there are a bunch of courses online. If you want to specialize in something particular, but if you're starting off, I would say, I mean, join our course. We are taking you from scratch. We're teaching you fundamentals of programming. We're teaching you front end, back end, how these pieces interact with each other. We're teaching you mobile apps building as well. So yeah.
Exactly. And just taking off from where Sakshi left off, particularly as you correctly must have realized, Lakshmi, being a full stack developer, it's important for you to stay on top of things. But as you know, you need to first reach a certain knowledge base where you have knowledge of all these tools. And that is what we are currently doing through our online program as well. Being a formal learning program, obviously, it is a more comprehensive one than just reading, let's say, a particular tech blog and all. But this is the sort of comprehensive treatment that is needed for you to stay abreast of the latest technology trends and then excel working on them. So as she correctly pointed out, we start you off from the basics, which Sakshi is again and again pointing, basics of problem solving, basics of algorithms, data structures. Because as you know, guys, technology may come and go. As Sakshi correctly said that keeping friends with a particular technology isn't going to take you too far in your career, because that technology may change in the next 2-3 years. So it's important to have a great mindset, a great problem solving ability in order to soar ahead in your career. And that is exactly what we are developing through this IIIT Bangalore and UpGrad program. And that is exactly the sort of what should I say, the quality of talent that we wish to improve in the Indian tech ecosystem, which will help make you a successful developer. And obviously, I need not tell about the fact what amazing pays our software developers getting in. Times of India is talking about it. Hindustan Times is talking about it. Sakshi is being modest. She isn't talking about it though. But guys, there are great career opportunities out there. And I think it's not time to go at it with one hand. Be fully committed to it. Because yes, it is a very rigorous way that it's planning ahead. Gone are those days when you just had to do a few particular things to have a sustainable career. It's all about challenging yourself, what should I say, questioning your limits, going beyond them. And that's how you will soar ahead in your career and make it big.
Yeah, I mean, I would say our course is just a start, and then to stay ahead in life, obviously, like we're just guiding you, giving you a path, and then you have to keep reading, keep exploring, see what interests you more, and deep dive into it.
Exactly. And please keep the questions coming in, guys. It really helps to keep it interactive. Otherwise, I would be boring Sakshi with my own list of questions. So I'm pretty sure she would rather have yours as well. Meanwhile, feel free to ask any program-related queries as well. As you know, this is being hosted primarily by IIIT Bangalore and UpGrad to help you get aware of what are the recent trends going on in the industry and how this program that we have come up with, this postgraduate diploma program that we have come up with, will help you get ahead in your career. We have got amazing industry tie-ups. We will be getting experienced developers of Sakshi's caliber to help you counsel, to help you guide through your career, to plan your career better. And this is where real career impact comes through, my friends. And it's about time, the way India is already on the cusp of a massive technological revolution. So if you don't upskill now, you might just be left behind and left to rue the chance. So please keep the questions coming in. It's really crucial for you at this point of time, and also for us to keep the session engaging and fun as well. Cool. So Sakshi, we don't have any new questions, so I might as well come up with one. Are there any tools which are your particular favorite when it comes to development? Like, yeah, I quite like working on this particular technology. What makes a particular language or a tool a developer's friend? I would want to know. Okay. So any personal favorites out there? I understand being a full stack developer, it's being like asked a parent to choose their favorite child, but would love to know like what works for you, what doesn't. And
okay, so no particular. No, I mean it's a difficult question. Yeah, I'm being asked to choose a child. But so I would say that I like working on scripting languages more than strongly typed languages.
Could you name a few, because a tech naive person like me would love to.
Yeah, so maybe like Ruby and Python over Java or C, because I mean I'm able to more my speed when I'm writing code in those languages is much faster.
Got it.
So yeah, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Got it. And you say full stack developers are capable of creating great products, great product features, and everything. Like in your career, like would love to know which is that one product that you are really proud of creating. That this feature, being a full stack developer, I worked hard on it and delivered it to the internet world.
Okay, UpGrad would be it.
Oh. And this is no nepotism creeping in, my friends, and this was not a pre-planned questions, but would love to know more about it. Like, which particular feature here at UpGrad did you feel that was massively useful for learners or potentially the audience out there?
So okay, so I would say that I showed our product to a couple of my friends, and the feedback that I got from them was that everything is very concise and neat, and that the things which need to be there are just there, and there's no noise on the product. So like makes me feel really proud to have developed such a thing and getting such feedback. As far as a particular feature goes, so I mean, like I joined at almost the very beginning of when we started building this product. So I mean, I can't really name one particular feature, but like we built the entire content creation platform, content delivering platform, which the students will come and learn on. So yeah, I would okay to name one feature, I would say our in-video quizzes, where so there's a person explaining you a concept, and we stop you right there in the middle of it and pop up some questions so that you sort of register. It's like a refresher, and if you're asked to exercise your mind right then and there in between, it settles in your head. Yeah,
that's really interesting. So my friends, I think that question solved two purposes on my end as well. You can learn like what sort of an immersive learning experience it is on the UpGrad learning platform. I would want to take this moment to just walk you through that. Please do not have these preconceived notions in your mind that online learning is just like I'll have some content, I'll just see it and try and learn it on my own. We handhold you through this entire learning journey, and not just the learning journey, my friends, but also through your career transition journey as well. So you just don't get access to amazing content in forms of, as she correctly said, in-video quizzes, interaction with the IIIT Bangalore faculty, interaction with industry experts like Sakshi, people from Amazon, people from Flipkart who have years and years of software development experience. They come and share their stories. They come and share on how you can better plan your career to get ahead. And this entire experience, when it comes together along with the career support services that we give, which is essentially connecting you to the top industries, helping you with resume prep, CV prep. This is where the entire piece comes into being and really helps impact your career. Even if you see currently in entire India, and I can even safely say the entire world, Sakshi, you yourself being a part of the tech world, I don't think there is any other platform which brings together all the experiences of learning in such a better way.
Yeah.
Exactly. And guys, we are still waiting on a few questions. Oh, and there we have it. Krunal has a question. He said that I've done my diploma in computer engineering and haven't done a degree. Can I be eligible for getting a job in a tech MNC as of now?
So it varies from company to company. I would say that go ahead and apply. It is all about the skill set that you have, as I've been emphasizing on. There are some companies which are too strict on a limited numbers, a cut-off CGPA or a particular college, but not many. I would say, like they know that great potential can come from anywhere. So yeah, that should not be a problem, I would say.
That's helpful to know. And Krunal, just adding to it, like I myself, coming from a computer science background at IIT Delhi, I have a few of the friends who never really scored well during the colleges, but today are at the forefront of technological companies in India. Like they are leading housing.com, they are leading Flipkart, they are leading Amazon teams. And so it wasn't a matter of what marks they were getting, what degree they had. It was what skills and knowledge they brought to the plate. So my suggestion to you, Kunal, would be that instead of focusing on like traditional companies, because as Sakshi correctly said, they may at times have cases like they need a certain percentage, they need certain degrees, but particularly this startup boom that India has, this product boom that India has, you can definitely approach any of these companies after building a sufficient skill set, because these companies are primarily looking for great skills, because you won't have team of 10 developers working on the same thing there. You would be leading the efforts on your own. So the company needs to be comfortable entrusting you with that thing, and that comes primarily from knowledge. So as it's correctly said, knowledge is power, my friend. It's about time to get powerful, and I believe this is where the learning, true learning, will happen to shape out your career in the future as well. Cool. And we guys, please keep your questions coming in. We already have Krunal and Lakshmi asking us a few of questions. Would love to get in any questions you might have regarding your career, how to make a move, what better way to ask than right now from an industry expert herself. There are great jobs out there, and this is not just me saying just whip out your phone, just whip out your laptops, just enter any job website and put in a full stack developer role, and you would see such amazing companies out there like Uber, Flipkart, Amazon, with salary packages of 10 lakh plus, 15 lakh plus, that too for a entry level job. You can see Sakshi chuckling because she understands that it is a great opportunity out there, and it's about time that you take this opportunity with both your hands and make the most of it. Cool. Cool. So Sakshi, just keeping up with my slew of questions and getting to know more about the industry as well. Like mobile development in particularly, we are seeing that Mr. Mukesh Ambani came and literally handed everyone a smartphone in their hand. How has the mobile development field changed? Have you had an opportunity to work on it? What technology are particularly needed for it?
Okay, yeah. So I haven't had an opportunity to work on it yet, but yeah, as I said, you know, if I get interested, I'll probably try that out. But so right now, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm bragging about my content again, our content again. Yeah. So we're going to take you through React, and React is something that you with which you can develop web as well as. So we're going to teach you React Native, and you know, you'll be able to get onto mobile platforms with that as well. So yeah, so far haven't had a chance, but yeah, would love to.
Got it. And great point bringing up React. Actually, my friends, a fun fact for you guys: React was developed by Mark Zuckerberg's team directly. So when they were designing Facebook, they found this JavaScript framework that was really helpful for creating like great software products, easy to use, very functional. And that is where, so as you know, most of the popular softwares are nowadays open source, right? So this open source tool was taken up by almost all the leading companies, be it an Airbnb, be it even these Chinese companies that we hear, the Tencents of the world, Flipkart, even UpGrad for that matter, Amazon. Everyone is moving very quickly towards React. So we have already had almost a 4x jump in just 11 months in the number of React developer jobs out there. So you will get access to world-class tools. You'll get access to building them on your own directly. It's just how this program helps you become a better developer out there for the industry. Cool. We have another question coming in. Krunal has sent in a thank you to you, Sakshi. So thanks, Krunal. Please keep the good word coming in. Really helps motivate us as well. Maulik wants to ask is like this educational gap, is it affecting placements? So Maulik would first of all would love if you could explain when you say an educational gap, like what do you mean when you say an educational gap? We'll just hold there for like 10-20 seconds, Maulik. So would love to know, like when you say an educational gap, like what are you exactly referring to so that we can address this concern better? Meanwhile, while we get Maulik's answer, I'll just continue buzzing more on this. So does web development and mobile development, are they like the same side of the same different sides of the coin, or are they like whole different ball games altogether?
So it's a mix of both. So I mean, it depends on what product are you building. Is it so? A lot of things these days are mobile first because everyone in the world, everyone has a handset, and that's how you're going to reach your customers, reach your audience. So I would say, I mean, mobile development is a must. Not if not native apps. I would say, like, even if you have a product which is web only, but to reach out to your customers, you will have to build sort of marketing pages which are mobile driven. And also when you start building something for mobile first, you since there's a space constraint, right? So you think about what is more important, how to place it, what should be given more focus, what can be chucked out. While when you're developing web, you would sort of throw in everything together. So yeah, I would say that there are certain things which would be better on web, with certain things which would be better on mobile. And yeah, so I mean, both have their own importance in a way. Yeah,
that's really helpful for us to know as well, because guys, as you know, it's not one size fits all, as Sakshi says. It's important to realize what works on desktop might not work on mobile. Because for example, let's say desktop is used by people working on home broadband or office broadband, and generally these connections are very fast. So you can have like heavier content out there, like a video, like an audio file or something. While on mobile, it's important to understand the limitations of the medium, because for all you know, the person might be on 2G or a scratchy 3G. So it's important to realize what elements you want to show and present in a better way.
Correct. And I mean, as technology is advancing, we have tools so that we can build our mobile websites, mobile apps in such a way that even on low data, low network areas, we're able to serve pages faster. So I mean, we'll take you through all of that with the native React.
Exactly, guys. And this is the technology. And if you want to see an application of it, you need not look any further than in India of how Paytm has actually leveraged this. Paytm was like one of the world's fastest growing application post demonetization. Thank you, Mr. Modi, for helping with that. But it was used not just in cities, but in far off villages, and it worked like a charm. They came out with their own localized languages, localized apps and everything. And that was just made possible courtesy React Native, as Sakshi just said. So it's very important to understand these tools, because these top tech companies are already leveraging it and looking for talent who can then work on it. We had Maulik writing in about the educational gap that he asked, that how is this educational gap affecting placement. So Maulik says that moving from, let's say, 12th to college, or moving between two college degrees, does it impact placements? How do companies view it? Is it purely a matter of your academic credentials, or how does it work? What does a hiring manager look for in short?
Okay, so I will go about how I look at it. So when a resume comes in, what I look at is one, years of experience, and second, in those number of years, what has that person achieved, or what has that person learned. So it all showcases on the kind of work that you've done. For me personally, it does not matter if you're coming from an IIT or if you're coming from a local college, as long as you've done interesting work, great work. I mean, I'm all out to hire you. So and I think so. I still don't understand the gap, sort of. I mean, I'm sorry, Maulik, I'm not able to grasp the question. But if you're talking about, say, if you leave a job and sort of go for higher education and then come back, join in. So I mean, it'll depend on what you studied. Are you going to pursue something in what you are planning to study in your post graduation, or if you're still good at what you were doing before you went to college, that it shouldn't be a problem.
Exactly, Maulik. And like I myself, being a seasoned technology industry expert as myself, I would say that it's not a matter of what you know, but it's a matter of who you know. I'm just kidding on that. But very frankly, you need to have skill sets, you need to have knowledge, which is required by these companies. So like very frankly, if you boil down to the very basic question of hiring, why does hiring happen? Hiring happens because company is looking for something and a candidate comes presenting that yes, this is what I have and this completely fits what you are looking for. So it's important to showcase your skills in a way which shows you to be a perfect solution to the problem. Right, and so after that, it does not become a case of degrees, of education, of gaps, of what your previous background was, but it purely becomes a function of what skill set can you get to the table. If I, let's say, want to eat pasta, and someone comes to me and says, hey, I was earlier making only South Indian food, but right now I've learned how to make the best pasta in Bangalore or in Bombay. Can I join your restaurant? I would be more than happy to give them the chance because they have the required skill set to win. I don't care whether they made masala dosa earlier. And apologies straight away for the bad example, but I was feeling slightly hungry, hence the example.
You got me hungry as well.
Cool. So guys, hopefully Maulik, that was helpful for you to understand how the entire hiring happens. Again and again, you can see we are referring to the fact that it's not important whether you have a certain background. I understand a lot of traditional companies had structured their entire placement around this of
yeah, but a lot of it is changing right now.
Exactly, people. It's about because this is the revolution that the IT industry is seeing. This is the reason why when automation came into being, a lot of jobs are being made redundant because they were coming out of a certain framework which only encouraged a few skills. It's important to be have a very high learnability, very high adaptability, very high flexibility, and that's where the concept of the entire full stack developer comes into being. Because hey, today I might need you for some of my backend development work, but tomorrow I may need some to push out great changes on the front end, and a person like Sakshi could very easily fit into that role and just deliver me great front end before I again transition you back into the backend. That obviously helps with better learning, faster learning, because the more you do, the more you learn. So as a software developer, I would even say that it's important for you to practice and practice.
Correct.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no end to learning. Every day you got to read more, acquire new skills to stay sharp, stay ahead.
Exactly, guys. I would even compare a full stack developer role to a doctor's role right now, because it's important to keep your knowledge updated, knowing which like a doctor needs to know what sort of medicines are out there, what sort of new diseases are coming out to be. Same way, a developer or a full stack developer needs to keep in check of what is happening on the web world. Are they missing out on any recent technology advancements as well? So that's exactly how it is. So you are the doctors of tomorrow, very frankly. The impact that you will have on the society as a software developer would be massive. Like just imagine the starting of a Google or a WhatsApp. It started from one simple software developer just developing one piece of code on one algorithm, and today it's being used by billions of people. So guys, you need to realize that this is a massively impactful role. This is the reason that such career opportunities are rising at such a frantic pace, and it's important for you to stay prepared, stay skilled in order to crack those jobs as well. Cool. We had another question from Maulik on again. Maulik was asking whether internship is helpful in finding better jobs, or are companies fine with hiring a fresher? What's your take on that, Sakshi?
Okay, so internship is definitely, it will definitely help you because I mean, again, it depends on what kind of internship you get, but if you're able to get a good internship where you're sort of building something end to end, and you have a product to showcase at the end of it, that would be great. I mean, you got to be choose the right company where you're able to learn and build something. A lot of companies do hire freshers. It totally depends on what stage what stage are they in? Are those companies in? And sometimes they would quickly want to build up a product, and at that point maybe they would rather hire someone experienced. But a lot of other times freshers. I mean, it is I would say. Hiring a fresher, you're hiring someone who's unbiased towards a certain way of doing things, so you can train them well and to fit your company needs. Yeah,
exactly. That's a really interesting point that Sakshi brings, Maulik, that freshers are also preferred a lot for hiring. It isn't as if the world is against freshers, because We see a lot of WhatsApp jokes going around where people are asking for 10 plus years of work experience from a 20-year-old chap and all. So very frankly, freshers are preferred.
And I would say, I mean, the freshers, the younger ones will be more enthu, I'm sure, to learn new things and adapt. So I mean that brings the agility in the team, and that's a great.
A fresher, I would say a fresher is like this empty whiteboard. Very frankly, for a company, they understand that person comes with a new zeal, new energy to learn. Their learnability is very high. They are fresh out of a college. They are keen to learn, keen to work, keen to make a mark. So that's where freshers are really preferred. That's exactly, and companies who are looking for that growth thing are essentially looking to hire freshers. So many roles we are seeing, particularly in development, essentially only look for freshers in that role and not experienced folks. Cool. We had another question coming in this time from Krunal. Krunal was asking that he has 10 plus years of experience in computer hardware, networking, and application support, but now wants to transition to being a software developer. Any suggestions for him, Sakshi? Like, how can he go on about it?
Yeah, so I will go exactly where we started. You start learning data structures, algorithms, pick up a front end, pick up a back end language and framework, and sort of start up. I would say like start off building to-do lists and small apps like that. And again, I would say we are there to guide you with our course content. So yeah, I would say like get onto the course, and otherwise also, like, if you're into enough, like, there is a lot of material out there. You just need to pick up something and start learning.
Exactly, Kunal. And Kunal, just taking on that point, we understand you have got extensive experience in application support and everything, but as you correctly would have realized as well, the jobs are changing fast, right? The increasing automation are making such roles come under the fire, under the hammer. So it's important for you to learn new skills, and it's great to see the approach you have in your life, that you're open to learning new things, exploring new things, moving to better roles. And this is exactly, this program helps you. And it's not just you, we already have students enrolled with 10 plus years of experience who are looking to, for a, let's say, a fresher start in their career, because it's important to accept that technology is changing fast. If you're not flexible in the way you work, you might end up losing, going behind in the race and all. So it's important to stay updated, and this program, it essentially helps anyone from a fresher to a 10 plus years experienced guy, because it starts from the basics. You have industry experts to build connections with. You have experts coming in to teach you, to counsel you, to mentor you, to help you program, develop on the latest tools, as Sakshi mentioned, React, JavaScript, everything. So this program definitely helps you in that regard, and it's never too late to learn. As Socrates himself said, that Socrates was sentenced to prison, and he was very old, and people were suspecting he was going to die, and he left 1 hour before he was supposed to be hanged and all. He went to learn the new flute, and that's when he told people that it's never too old to learn, and learning is a constant thing. So it's great that you realize the fact and are continuing to work towards it. Cool. Any more questions from people? More than happy answering it. Any questions for me? Any questions particularly to Sakshi? More than happy taking these up and getting the right answers to you, because it's very important to understand the industry's take on it. That's why we have industry experts like Sakshi in, because it's important to realize where the industry is moving, because a career essentially is understanding where the industry is going and being flexible enough to suit that need at that particular time. So if it's full stack development today, be a full stack developer. If tomorrow it shifts to, let's say, something like automation or something, learn that particular skill. It's important to stay in trends with the time. Sakshi, what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's completely, like, I agree with you 100%. You have to keep learning. You have, this afternoon I was telling him that I started off with Ember.js, the front-end framework, and right now I think React and Angular are way more popular than that. So
exactly.
You have to keep learning. You have to, because if you're stuck to old technologies, you will not be able to build as great products as there are out in the market, and you'll be left behind in the competition.
Exactly, guys. And there are plethora of companies out there. Like Indian government recently released a national software policy where they said almost 35 lakh new jobs are going to be created in the product industry alone. So guys, it's important to realize that there is massive opportunity, but you need to get off your seats, work towards it, work diligently towards it. I understand I am selling a distant future, but it's very nearly upon us. We are already seeing these sad news of layoffs coming in from IT companies, lakhs of jobs being made redundant. So it's important to keep up with the times and evolve with it. Because a fun fact actually here that almost 30% of India right now is working in job roles which weren't even created when they were born. I'm pretty sure, Sakshi, that no one had any clue about full stack development, even when you would be studying in college for that matter.
No, that would do it.
Okay, I made her quite old that way, so Sakshi was quick to avert that. But that's exactly the case, guys. Traditional marketing became digital marketing. Traditional software development became full stack development, and that's the reason that you need to stay ahead with the times. We are seeing this boom in data, boom in product, boom in digital, and essentially where is all this data, digital and everything coming from? It's being created by a software, a full stack developer end of the day, guys. So you need to realize that for every one data job out there in the industry, there are 10 full stack or software developer roles out there. So it's important to realize that full software development is right out there. It's like a, what should I say? It's like a chawal dal kind of a thing. It is always there. It's sacrosanct, and I'm sure you would want to pivot to such a career. Cool. We had another question coming in this time from Maulik. Maulik wanted to know, full stack developers are preferred by what all sort of companies? So Sakshi would love for you to take that.
Okay. I would say any product company, actually for that matter, services companies as well, because so full stack development opens up a lot of avenues for you across the spectrum. I would say for a service based company or a gem, because that's where I started. Okay, so I started in a service based company. So sometimes you might get a front-end heavy product, or sometimes you might get a back-end heavy product, or sometimes you might have to build end-to-end. So you are the guru, you know everything. So that's there. And as far as the product company goes, again, as a product owner, I wouldn't have to sort of think that if maybe there is slightly less work in front end this week and slightly more work in back end, I might have two resources sitting empty at one point or the other in time. While if I'm a full stack developer, I know that this is my guy. And so I would say both kind of companies are your avenues, and
Exactly, Maulik. And we have been researching this space extensively with the support of IIIT Bangalore folks. And I can tell you that full stack developers are right now being hired across the economy, my friend. And it's not just product companies like your Flipkarts, Ubers, Olas. Like they were already hiring in a low number. That number is only going to increase in the coming times. And even services company, as Sakshi herself said, she started in a services company. So even these big giants like your Infosys, Wipro, Accenture, they're opening up specialized digital divisions. And these digital divisions are essentially these IT companies trying to take on these new age products, like creating these software products. And they need talent of full stack developers to soar ahead. And not just these, even the huge technology companies which have got India-based offices like your Dell, your SAP Labs, your Walmart Labs, your Oracle, they are also looking for full stack developers, because that's the beauty of the country we stay in, my friends. India is the home of the best quality talent. That's the reason outsourcing was born because of us. That's the reason 90% of US tech is handled sitting out here in the cities of Bangalore, Bombay, Pune, Delhi. So it's important to realize that the market is right here, right now, and it's important for you to become that particular person that is wanted across the industry as well. And as recent industry interactions, actually would love to know from you as well. We were interacting with the CTO of a startup called Nabo Bank, and we were discussing this prospect of a full stack developer role. And he said that if you have full stack development written in your CV, you're sure to get an interview call from my side. Is that true? Are you also bothered by calls from different companies? How does it go?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I get a lot of those. I mean, I won't brag about that. But on the other side, I mean, I'll talk about how I go about hiring. So we have Pooja in our team who is looking after the back-end hiring. And whenever she sees that, okay, this guy has done Python, Java, JavaScript, okay, Sakshi, here it is, interview this guy, see where he fits. So, I mean, I get very interested, very, very excited seeing such a resume that, oh, nice, I can ask him all sorts of questions and see if he fits in for our role. And that sort of person will benefit our team a lot. We can, because yeah, the work is never less in all the fields. So, yeah.
That's interesting. Cool. We had a new questioner all of a sudden, and welcome to the session, Aman. We had Aman Vijay writing in that, is learning a whole stack kind of overwhelming for a techie in terms of dealing with, like, in production, in DB, UI frameworks? Like, is it a little too much? Is it easier said than done? Like, what's your take? Because you've already been there, done that kind of.
So yeah, so I will again repeat it. I guess he's just joined that I like attacking at problems small chunks at a time. I break up everything into small chunks. So even if I'm solving something, if I'm learning something, how I went about learning all of these things was also that I picked up front end first, back end first, then front end, and then so database, someone else did it for me for quite some time, and then when I was comfortable with these chunks, I went into how my backend is interacting with the database, how can I optimize my queries, and so on and so forth. And now, like, very recently I started getting into DevOps kind of things as well, because, like, I mean, that was one unexplored area for me, so I'm trying to get there as well. So I would say it will become overwhelming if you try to gulp everything down together. That is never a good idea, because it's like trying to hold on to 1,000 things and you drop half the things. But just break down things. I would say I mean, it's a life philosophy for me, actually. If it's work, if it's study, if it's play, whatever it is, I just break down things into small chunks and deal with one at a time.
Exactly, Aman. And just continuing on from there, like, it's important to realize, as she correctly said, you don't have to go at it in one go.
Yeah.
The learning needs, because a lot of things are interrelated as well, right, Sakshi? You need to know a few things before you go on to tackling the advanced things.
Correct.
You need to have your concepts of backend in place before designing, let's say, a mobile app altogether and all. So it's important that you go at it step by step. That's why this program is not a very quick fix Maggie type of a course which finishes in 2 months and we say you are done with it. It is a gradual process. Learning is a gradual process. That's the reason you have multiple year courses in traditional colleges and all, because learning will happen gradually. It takes time to set in, it takes time to apply those knowledge. And that's the beauty of a software development program, that you'll be able to straight away deploy, check things. You can share your websites with your friends, your loved ones. Tell them that, hey, let's say if it's Aman Vijay out there, I've made a amanvijay.com. It's a website all about myself. You can access it yourself. That's I think the feel good part, that you can show your work to someone and say, hey, I made this.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, if you're going on to starting to learn full stack, I mean, pick up backend first. Rather pick up data structures and algorithms first, then pick up a language in backend and sort of start applying those concepts. Move on to front end, learn how front end and backend talks to each other. Then you sort of go on to deployment. So yeah, even in our course, we're going to take you gradually through. For the first few months, we're going to teach you some concepts of programming, and then take you through take you through Java, how to write APIs in Java, and then go on to the front end bit of it.
Exactly, Aman. And that's exactly the way the whole curriculum has been structured, and it's been made with close collaboration with the industry experts as well, from Microsoft, from Flipkart and all. And that's exactly the user journey we take you through. The learning journey essentially is what is critical here. Like, we start you off with the basics of algorithms, data structures, and then get you onto the advanced things as well. Cool. Guys, any last questions? We are planning to wrap up with the session soon. Do let us know if you have any questions. Okay, we have a question from Aman Vijay again. what's a day like for a senior managerial full stack person? Like, what does the management expect out of them? So let's say a Sakshi 1 or 2 years from now, like what would be the expectations from you? Would love to know more on this.
Okay, so at a management level, I would say one, you should be able to judge the people you're interviewing, hire the right talent, because that's going to make your life easy.
Got it.
You're on a day-to-day basis, you'll be dealing with product managers as to this is so they'll come up with a problem to you, and you're sort of their guide to how this problem is supposed to be solved. What is the best technically feasible way, easiest way, or even if it's challenging, what's the fastest way to go about it? You'll be doing a lot of reviews. You'll be training a lot of freshers to grow into back-end, front-end, or full-stack developers as per their wish. Yeah, so that's pretty much how my day goes here.
Exactly, Aman, and like we did interview a lot of senior full-stack developers, Sakshi included, and we came to know that because they hold a pivotal role in any company they are, because they have knowledge of back-end, they have knowledge in front-end. So almost all technological decisions which are taken in close collaboration, in consultation with these full-stack developers, because they have a learned opinion on almost anything. So that's how, and essentially, very frankly, because the sort of thinking they get to the problem, as Sakshi herself said, that this tendency of breaking problems into smaller parts and then attacking them, this life philosophy, when it gets it, the problem resolving just doesn't remain limited to, let's say, solving programs, creating programs. It percolates into your life as well. Right, it comes into your every life decision, which helps make it a better one. That's the reason that even in general, a software developer is respected, is revered over, let's say, a normal job, because that's the sort of thinking you get into your life as well. Cool, guys. We are actually done with the time here. Thank you so much, Sakshi, for being a part of it. Thank you to all to stay and be a part of this session. If you have any questions, any concerns for Sakshi, we'll be happy to convey them. Do write in to us at our official email ID, software-dev@upgrad.com. You can go on to upgrad.com and look at our program page and drop in your queries there. Our counseling team will be in touch to potentially explain to you more about the industry and about the program on how it helps you. Guys, I just want to sign off with the fact that industry is changing fast, and it is about time we take out the steps to become a better developer, a better person for this technology industry, because then only we can hope to expect great rewards out of it. Cool. On that note, let me wish you good night. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much, Sakshi, once again.
It was great doing this.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.